Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very exciting video for you today. I just received my Morphe 35O palette in the mail and I was so excited to break into it. As I was looking at the palette, I noticed that there are a lot of dupes for other eyeshadows that I own, especially Makeup Geek dupes. I don't know if a lot of you just have the single eyeshadows from Makeup Geek, but if you can't get your hands on them for some reason or don't want to spend a lot, especially on the foiled eyeshadows, the 35O palette has a lot of dupes and I'm going to share those with you. This is the 35O palette. It is so beautiful. These are the colors. There are some very intense foil looking eyeshadows, especially the really shimmery and foiled eyeshadows are dupes for some of the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. So I'm going to show you a comparison of each one, and I will do swatches on my arm so you can see it, and also put the Makeup Geek pan next to the Morphe color in the palette. These don't actually come out, or as far as I know. I've never tried to get them out, but I'll just put them next to each other. So the first dupe that I was super excited to find is actually a dupe for the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow in the Spotlight. I don't know how they describe it on the website, but it is so beautiful. This is in the Spotlight and it is very beautiful. I would say it's like a corally color, reflects different colors. Maybe some like champagne colors in there also. I'm wearing the Morphe one on my eyeshadow that I think is a dupe for in the Spotlight, and I think it's pretty dead on. I will show it to you next to the Morphe palette. Morphe eyeshadow that I think is a dupe, or very close, I'd say very close, is this one right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it is definitely that corally color. I can't really tell on camera, but it looks very similar, especially when they're swatched. It is definitely not coming off as coral on camera, which kind of sucks, but there's in the Spotlight next to it. Don't look very similar in pan, but the effect in the swatch I'll show you is pretty much the same. These are the two swatched next to each other. Now, I guess one looks a little bit peachier on camera. Well, the Morphe one is right here, and this is in the Spotlight. They aren't coming off the same on camera, but they really do. When you put them on the eyelids, they look very similar. Morphe, I actually think, is more pigmented and more metallic, which I actually really love, but that is how similar those two are. One kind of looks more rose gold for some reason on the camera, but if you saw them in person, they look very similar. Next dupe I have is for the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow in Flamethrower. This is the color right here, a very coppery shade, and it is really beautiful, especially if you have blue eyes like me. It just makes your eyes pop. But the thing with these foiled eyeshadows is that they are $9.99 each, which is a little bit higher than her regular eyeshadows, which are $5.99 each, I believe. But these are very pigmented and beautiful. The 35O palette has a very close dupe, and it is the last color in the palette. The last color in the palette is right here, and it, as you can see, it does look very close to Flamethrower, and I'm going to show you them put next to each other. This is Flamethrower right next to the last color in the Morphe palette, and as you can see, it has pretty much the same look. I mean, it's crazy. Both copper, both got flecks of maybe like a brownish color to it, but I'll show it to you swatched on my arm. This one is Flamethrower and this one is the Morphe, and they are identical. Like, that is insane. Let me build this one up a little bit. I mean, just as pigmented, if not more, depending on how much you put on there, but they are very close dupes. The next dupes I have for you are actually from her regular single eyeshadow line. They're the non-foiled formula, like these. And there's a couple of those staple eyeshadows that she has, Mocha and Cocoa Bear, and those things. I actually have found dupes for those, are very similar colors to those in the Morphe 35O. So this is Mocha, and it is just a chocolatey brown mocha color, I guess you would call it. And I actually have been very disappointed with this specific eyeshadow because it is very, I feel like very powdery and very hard to work with, and especially build it up is really hard. It was really cool to find another similar color in this 35O palette because I believe this one is being reformulated right now for Makeup Geek. I love Makeup Geek. I'm not bashing them in any way. I'm just saying if you can't find Makeup Geek or can't get your hands on it, then you can get the 35O palette. It's got so many colors that are similar to the Makeup Geek color. Mocha is actually similar to one of the shades in this palette, and I will show it to you right there. As you can see, they're both that mocha color. They're very, very close in color, especially in the pan. Lighting doesn't really show you it for sure, but I will show you a swatch on my arm. This one right here is Mocha, and this one is the Morphe. They're very, very similar in color, if you can't really tell, but the Morphe one is actually smoother and easier to apply. The Mocha one, this formulation is really super chalky and dry and really hard to work with. So this is a really nice alternative to Mocha because they're very similar in color. Oh, and they're both matte. The next similar color I have for you guys is Cocoa Bear. This is Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, and it is a rusty kind of reddish brown. It is a very popular color that she sells. I have found a dupe, a very close color match in the Morphe 35O. This color right here is very similar to Cocoa Bear. You can see right next to each other, they are very, very similar. In the pan, they look pretty much the same, at least from my point of view. Cocoa Bear, for some reason, is actually one of those well-formulated ones. It's still not as great as Marlena's new matte formulation, but this is still really good and is one of my favorite colors. So let's see, swatched on my arm. There is Cocoa Bear, and there is the Morphe. They're very, very similar in color. They kind of even look very similar in the swatch. Maybe the Makeup Geek is a slight more red, but not very much more. But they are both, the Morphe actually has a very smooth texture, so it's a lot easier to work with. Cocoa Bear is really nice too, but it's still not like the new matte formulation that Makeup Geek has. The matte eyeshadows in this Morphe palette are really, really amazing. Their formulation is so smooth and buttery. I love it. But there's Cocoa Bear in the Morphe dupe. The last dupe I have for you guys is actually a dupe for Bada Bing eyeshadow. And it's this very dark brown. It actually has flecks of gold shimmer, but you can't actually see it when you do an eye look. In the swatch, you'll be able to see it, which is so weird to me, but yeah. Bada Bing next to the very last, well, not the last color. Opposite from the Flamethrower dupe in here is this color, which looks so much like Bada Bing. Yeah, there we go. It's got the gold flecks just like Bada Bing. So that is crazy. I feel like they are very close dupes. I'll show it to you on my arm. The first one swatched is Bada Bing, and the next one is the Morphe. I don't know if you can tell, but they both have these gold flecks in them. The Makeup Geek actually shows up better on my arm for some reason, but they both have the same tone and both have that gold shimmer. Actually, all the dupes I've been able to find so far, but if I find more as I am doing my looks and things like that, I will definitely share it with you guys. They're very, very similar. It makes me happy. Really, it does. So if you're looking for something that is comparable to Makeup Geek shades, then I would definitely pick up the 35O palette. As you can see, it is mostly warm, but it's a mixture of mattes and like foil looking ones. There's a couple like pearl shades, very unique shades in here. Now you can see more of the shades. Look at those like foiled looking ones. Insane. Just gorgeous. Make sure to leave me a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I love getting new subscribers. If you comment on any of my videos, I will definitely comment back. Make sure you give a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will have a new video for you next Monday. I upload every Monday at 6 a.m., God willing. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I'm sweating. It is so hot. So hot. My arm makes me look like I got into a paint war or something. So check out the look I did with the Morphe 35O palette. This is that in the spotlight dupe. Like, can you tell how close? I mean, just beautiful. Beautiful. Flecks of gold. Oh my god. I can't say flecks of gold shimmer. Oh, now I can say it.